Hey guys, my name is Bryce, and today I'm doing a video of a sort of part 2 of what my trip is like. And instead of having characters, I figured I'd just talk right over the footage, because that's the most compelling thing to see. What you're seeing right now is I'm busing over from Billund over to Vila, and it's a really scenic, beautiful thing to see. So this is me in the train station, taking a trip out to Arhus. That's one of the main buildings. Here I'm actually at the center where they're having the new Lego house being built, which is really cool to see. The way you get over to that is actually I was just walking over via this little sort of sculpture garden area where they've got a lot of cool installations there. Apparently it's going to grow over the years, so it was cool to see it, you know, with so many spaces in between and everything. It felt very open with like little things you almost kind of stumble upon along the path. So that was really cool to see. However, the best thing I saw by far is the LEGO headquarters. This is it. This is the real deal. Words cannot describe how excited I was and just astounded to be walking past this all the way to the city center. Like, it was amazing. I don't know. Again, I can't really express it that well, but it was incredible. Here's me looking over right by Kolding house, which is like this huge castle that's been restored. You know, beautiful sort of waterfront and everything. So I'm in Iceland now. Took this photo of somebody else landing, but pretty much gets the idea going. So this is the land of less snow than I thought there was going to be, and a lot more geysers, and so much talk about clean energy and everything. It was really cool to learn just how wind turbines and hydro from things like this, and also a ton of hot water heat and sort of steam power and basically just geothermal stuff is what powers this entire country. Now, they have a much smaller population than Canada and quite a lot of countries in the world actually, but even so, that's a lot to brag about. And another huge benefit for them is it is so beautiful there, like with all the kind of natural wonders that I got to see, where I flew from Copenhagen out to Reykjavik, and then I didn't really know what to do in Iceland aside from check out the nature, so I went on all these tours, and that's kind of how I ended up managing to find all this incredible footage and everything, was just kind of having the locals lead me to it basically, which is cool. So yeah, it was amazing just all the stuff I got to see, and yeah, I had a lot of footage of waterfalls. Obviously I was doing a lot more stuff in Billund, so that's why I didn't have so much footage of it as opposed to photography. But yeah, this is the day before I ended up going to a gallery on basically like the history of children and play, which I didn't really take video of necessarily. I had a bunch of photos, which I'll be having on my Instagram account, which I'll be kind of sharing in kind of like a longer period of time. But this I had a lot of footage of because it was just amazing to see, nature in action at like such a grand scale, basically, is kind of what I ended up witnessing. So it was amazing just to see all this, and took some time to go on hikes and see some sheep running down at top speed. Kind of hilarious and amazing how they didn't end up rolling or anything like that. This is just funny footage I ended up finding. Again, more waterfalls, because they're beautiful here. They're all over the place, especially since there was so much rain that had happened right before I arrived, that there's just a lot to go for. Here's of course the more of the geysers and everything, and there's a lot of kind of steam outlets and everything, which makes sense, but I did manage to get to see a few geysers here and there. Some of them no longer work as well, and they just sort of froth around, which is actually okay. Nobody else is really filming it, but I thought it was kind of cool to see this bubbling sort of cauldron looking thing, which is kind of neat. You definitely get the sense of like some sort of prehistoric stuff happening, where especially when I arrived at the airport and it was kind of bussing out to the main city, it took a couple minutes for us to drive out past just like barren lava rock, and then we saw moss, and then we saw vegetation and things like that. It was like very much a visual representation of how life kind of takes hold of somewhere that was originally all volcanic, like it's a younger part of the world, which is cool for me to think about. And here's like this cool little sort of secret waterfall sort of thing that obviously wasn't terribly secret, but it was this bonus part of the tour, which is nice to see. I guess we were all on time and we got to kind of see this little extra cove with waterfalls. And then more waterfalls, because they're just majestic in Iceland, seriously. Here's also a kind of cool structure we can see over top of one of the waterfalls. But anyway, main point, I had an amazing time taking in all this nature, where Denmark definitely feels like a hub for design, and then Iceland feels like a place for, being an artist and just being inspired by the sort of more natural stuff around you. Like here's a black sand beach, which was just really cool to see. So that's a huge generalization, of course, but that's kind of what I found through the tours that I managed to get onto. But that said, though, I would visit both places again in a heartbeat. Just all the cool stuff you could see there, and also all the great things you could do. I managed to try a lot of the different sort of local foods, definitely the sort of heritage sites you could visit, and all the museums, both in Iceland, but also there's so many in Denmark that I definitely need more time to see more. I'd invite pretty much anybody to see this. And on the last scene of glaciers, it was amazing to see the sort of before and after pictures. But on a brighter note, I will definitely be back, and I'll be checking up to see how everything is in a couple years or hopefully less. In any case, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.